Welcome back, Sebastian here. So Jakarta ePrix finally finished round 2 today. So pretty exciting race, I thought. So let's get right into it. So there's big drama before the race even started. Sergio Seti Camara DNS'd, did not start with a technical problem. And then on the grid moments before the start of the race, Sam Bird was wheeled off with another mechanical problem. So that delayed the start a little bit. But when we did get started on the opening lap, Gunther had a really good start and kept the lead. And Dennis managed to hold P2, something he did not do yesterday. Fenestraz was up to 4th as well. On the second lap, the commentators think that overall the race was between Dennis and Evans for the lead, so we'll see how that turned out. Lap 4, Van Doorn overtook Fenestraz at turn 1 for P4, so good move there. Gunther starts the attack mode cycle by taking it down and then goes down to 3rd place. Lockup by Verline, and he almost goes into the back of Mortara, so a bit of a moment there for Verline. Lap 5, Dennis takes attack mode, but key for him is he stays ahead of Gunther, who had taken it a lap before. Following lap 6, Evan takes attack mode and is down to 3rd, so puts Dennis in the lead of the race. Fenestraz is down to 6th as well after taking attack mode. No, actually I don't think he took it. I think he just dropped positions down to 6, yes. Lap 7, Beckman retires with mechanical problem. Turns out they hit the wall and he had a little bit of contact and it probably damaged the front suspension. Lap 9, Evans overtakes Gunther and Mortara overtakes Van Doorn, kind of a synchronized overtake in turn 1. Lap 10, Gunther puts a really bold move, makes a really bold move, overtakes Evans through the tight back section. So really high risk move there by Gunther. Dennis is starting to slow down the pack though because of there's 2 extra laps compared to yesterday. It means that the race is 2 laps longer, of course, which means that they have to save energy a lot more. So that's why they're going quite a bit slower. And commentators were saying that they're driving about a second a lap slower than yesterday. So it's showing just how much more they're slowing down. However, at this point, the leaders were very close on energy. So they're all about 70–71%. Lap 13, Gunther was starting to attack Dennis, which I was a bit surprised by because I didn't think he would have the pace in the race to hold on. Then Jev starts dropping positions and he eventually drops to the back and has to pit for a new front wing. So he somehow picked up some damage either through contact with another car or with the barrier. And Buemi also has some contact with Hughes, but no harm done there. Lap 14, Van Doorn, Fenestraz, and Verline all take attack mode. Lap 15, Dennis drops down to 3rd, taking attack mode, and Mortara drops down to 6th, taking attack mode as well. Following lap though, a really key moment of the race, Gunther takes attack mode but stays ahead of Dennis. So that's a really key move for the race. And following lap, just like earlier, Evans takes the final attack mode in succession and goes, they come on the radio saying that he will wait to take attack mode. So they're not taking attack mode right away. Mortara takes attack mode and DaCosta and Nato as well. Lap 18, Van Doorn is kind of brought back into this front chasing group because Dennis is still slowing the pack down. Lap 19, Dennis tries to go around the outside turn 1 but doesn't quite make the move stick and almost gets overtaken by Evans there as well. But at this point, the energy was very close. Gunther and Dennis looked a bit better. Both had about 53%, and Evans was a bit down on 52%. There was Cassidy, big drama in the championship. Cassidy was stopped on track, and he basically went through an extremely ambitious move on Verline at the attack mode activation zone, turn 14. It comes from very far back, and he basically clips the back of Verline and breaks the front wing. Has to come into pits, and his race is ruined. Lap 20, Evans takes attack mode, so he waits a couple laps and drops down to 3rd. Lap 22, Van Doorn overtakes Verline for P4 at turn 1. Dennis at 45% and Gunther at 44. I think Evans was at 43 as well. So Dennis looks like he's a little bit better on energy at this point. Now at lap 23, Evans starts to drop off the pace. So really it becomes a 2-horse race between Gunther and Dennis. Lap 25, Mortara drops to 9th. He basically locked up going into turn 1 and lost 3 positions right there. So a bit of a clumsy mistake by Mortara. Buemi was very close to contact with Rast after the attack mode as well. And lap 26, Gunther, at this point, Gunther is now starting to drop Dennis. So Gunther's been absolutely on it all through the practice sessions and qualifying, took both pole positions, led all 3 practice sessions, and the pace is finally starting to show up in the race as well. So lap 27, DaCosta has a broken front wing, but it's dangling. Luckily for him, it hasn't fallen off and he doesn't need to pit. Lap 29, the train was starting to form behind Evans, so he was really kind of struggling on energy management, especially compared to the cars behind him, so Van Dorn as well as the 2 Nissans. So it was really tight between Evans and the cars behind, and he was really struggling, which kind of surprised me. I thought he would be up with Gunther and Dennis. Lap 30, Van Dorn was under pressure from Wehrlein at turn 1. Wehrlein then drops to turn 8, drops to 8th place that same lap, going for attack mode. Lap 31, Van Dorn struggles a little bit at turn 13 and gets a bit of pressure from Fenestraz, but a couple laps later, Fenestraz goes for a move at that same corner and actually goes down the inside of Van Dorn. And he ends up shoving him so far wide, and Van Dorn goes so wide at that corner that actually gives room for Nato to go from 5th all the way up to overtake Van Dorn as well. So Van Dorn basically loses 2 positions in 2 corners. Lap 33, Wehrlein then overtakes Van Dorn at P1. So Van Dorn looks like he has a problem, some kind of just really struggling with pace. And basically, so that's Wehrlein up to P6. And DaCosta, same lap, overtakes Van Dorn as well as Mortara. Lap 34, Betiktum was up to 10th, and he actually goes to overtake Van Dorn as well, so he's up to 9th. Lap 35, all teams, all the top drivers, all the drivers in the higher points paying positions were all about 9% on energy, and they announced that there was no added laps as well. Lap 37, Gunther has about a 2.6 second lead, so an incredibly comfortable lead by Formula E standards, and it looks like he's sailing clear for the win. Final lap, Evans was very close to the Nissans behind, really seemed to struggle, but he's managed to hold them off. So Gunther takes the checkered flag, wins his first race of the season, and Maserati's first win since I believe the 1957 with Juan Manuel Fangio. So very long time. Also the first win in Formula E in 14 races where the pole sitter has taken the win. So really not good, excellent weekend by Gunther. So our final results are first Gunther, second Dennis, third Evans, 4th Fenestraz, 5th Nato, 6th Wehrlein, 7th DaCosta, 8th Mortara, 9th Van Dorn, 10th Buemi, 11th Ticktum, 12th Muller, 13th Fines, 14th Degrassi, 15th Rast, 16th John Eric Byrne, 17th Mary, 18th Cassidy. Your 2 retirements are Hughes and Beckman. Hughes retired on the final lap, so I don't know if there was an issue or he ran out of energy. And 2 did not start, 2 DNSs, Bird and Seti Kamara. So your championship standings after Jakarta, there's only 5 races left, so we're getting down to the end of the season. Wehrlein retakes the lead in the championship, 134 points, Dennis in second with 132, Cassidy third with 128, Evans fourth with 109, 5th Byrne with 97, 6th DaCosta with 78, 7th Gunther moves up quite a lot this weekend, 67 points on the season, 8th Bird with 62, 9th Buemi also with 62, 10th Hughes with 46, 11th Van Dorn with 42. 12th in the championship is René Rast with 40 points, 13th is Fenestraz, 14th is Lauder, who again was absent this weekend, 15th was Nato with 21 points, so he moves up as well. 16th was Degrassi with 18, 17th Ticktum also with 18, 18th is Mortara with 17 points, 19th is Seti Kamara with 10, 20th is Roland with 9, 21st is Frines with 5, and 22nd is Muller with 2. So which leaves 23 Vanderlander, 24 Beckman, and 25 Mary, all with 0 points. The 3 drivers who basically are part-time drivers for this year. Your team's championship after Jakarta, first is Porsche with 212 points, extended lead after Envision only get 1 point today with 212 points. Second, Envision 190. So third, Jaguar 171. Fourth, Andretti 155. Fifth, DS Penske with 139. 6th, McLaren 86. 7th, Maserati with 84. 8th, Nissan with 52. 9th, Neo with 28. 10th, Mahindra with 27. And last is Apt with 7 points. So a bit of a better race, I thought, today than yesterday. And I think that's really, part of that was the effect of the race being 2 laps longer and them having more time to, them being forced to save energy and conserve energy, which means that the pack is a bit more bunched together. That being said, I think Jakarta is so hot that it's really, really hard on the drivers and on the tires. I do wonder if, even though they're all weather tires, if the tires are just overheating too much from being too close together, which makes it really hard to push. I do think last year's race was better, so I wonder if changing the tires and just the really hot temperatures is causing problems as well, making it a bit harder to race. Because I think the track is pretty good, especially for new modern Formula E cars. But it's hard to say. So next race coming up is Portland, so that's going to be really exciting. It seems like they're using the full layout without any modifications. I'm also curious about what they do with the barriers, if they do what they did at Valencia and Puebla, with basically adding lots of artificial barriers. I kind of hope they don't. I kind of want them to keep the kind of permanent circuit feel, but we'll see what they do. So that's all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back later, I think tomorrow, with my power rankings after the Jakarta ePrix. Goodbye.